It's freaking tea time. What's up? Back in the studio.
Again, a foreign invader on a Dennysode.
What's up? Got the man, the myth, the legend, James Dilla.
In the Denny studio.
And so we're doing not all 5 of these.
Yeah, we're just doing 2, in fact.
We're doing 2, one with separate years. So this is the 2003 red mark, 2009 red mark. Compare the 2. It definitely looks redder on the left.
For sure, yeah. You can definitely tell a difference.
Yeah, much greener on the right. And then this is the artistic font, also called
Meshuza.
Meshuza.
Which is pronounced incorrectly by me and more incorrectly by Denny.
Indeed. Very, very much so. And so I have gone through all 5 of these at least twice, and definitely some polarizing vibes from these. That's pretty much on the boil right there. I'm gonna give these all a pretty dang good rinse here. And sorry for, I'm gonna actually go like this a little bit and get out of the way. And yeah. So what's your, you want to explain a little bit about these? What's your history with these and, you know?
Yeah. So it's a series of cakes that they did in 2009 and 2003. I think they may have done it more recently too. I'm not totally sure on that, but the 2003 ones in particular are kind of pricey. But yeah, it's done by Feitai. They're all reproductions of like kind of old famous cakes, so that's why you have the red mark, which is a red mark reproduction, the blue mark, you have like an iron cake there, you have like this artistic sconce. Those are all teas that were made, I think, in the 50s and the 60s, so in a much older era, and so you basically have these reproductions here. The 2003-4 series, I think, is decently sought after, so they went ahead and decided to do it again in 2009. And I've had the 2009, a couple of the 2009s throughout the years, but I've had all of the 2003-4s, but it's nothing I've ever caked, so it's not a series that I know super, super well. But it's always been kind of on my radar.
Okay, so let's go ahead and smell the red marks first. That's your 2003.
And I think in both series,
wow,
the red marks are the most pricey of them.
quite different.
Interesting.
Yeah, quite different. And then,
and what's been your impression of the 09s?
Also called the Impression series.
Yeah.
Definitely polarizing.
Okay.
I think some hits and some misses. Okay. Definitely. So we're having the one that I really enjoyed the most, which is the artistic font. Again, not even try to pronounce that. So let's start with that one.
Okay. And that is an iron cake.
And it is an iron cake. And I'm curious to get James's thoughts on this one. This is the one that I've had 3 times now, served to non-tea drinker nerd friends as well. And for an 09 cake, for under $20 or whatever the heck the costs are for these, really, really affordable. I thought this was actually kind of a slam dunk.
Okay, so you think this is the more drinkable side of things, not as opposed to like a project?
Correct. Yeah, exactly. And so in terms of aging, I think all of it is a little bit more unknown.
Sure.
I think the red mark, I can understand aging that one. I actually liked the Jaji the second most, which is the grade A.
Okay.
And
that's not an iron, is it?
It is not.
This is the only iron.
Yes.
Okay.
And and then the red mark was my 3rd favorite.
Okay.
But we'll see how they go. Oops, that's hot. And let me get over here.
And I know from watching your my.tdb page that there was one that you literally gave an F rating to.
Yes.
And I feel like I don't see that rating very much.
That was the, I want to say the grade B.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty weird and not tasty right now.
Okay.
So, come on.
So, orangey color.
Yep. So not quite yellow. Cheers.
It's a good body, pretty resinous. Ooh. It's still got a roughness to it for sure.
Very green still.
Yeah.
Yep. Quite bitter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Smell this guy.
Yeah. But for me, the Huigon on this was actually really nice. The lasting sweetness on this is really delicious. And most importantly, compared to the other teas, the actual pairing of this profile, the flavors that are here present, actually work together.
Yeah.
This has a little bit of a lingering resin that reminds me of the Iron Cake.
Sure.
A little bit. And definitely for me, maybe one of the most kind of classically Shagwan of the five.
I'm surprised people were okay with this. Like that you served it to. It's still very puerish.
I brewed it lighter than this.
Okay.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it definitely does taste like some dark bitter tea.
Yeah.
For sure. So here we go.
Nice strong mouthfeel too. I feel like this lingers in ways that you would want puer to linger.
You know, it's funny because this is a 2009, right?
Yeah.
But the 2008 Yayan is like there. It's like ready. So just, you can never know.
Yeah. And sometimes it's storage dependent, which could be the case. But other times it's just the tea.
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So you would say of this series that it's a pretty wide variety of profiles then.
Definitely. There was some almost like very tropical fruity characters on these.
Oh,
watermelon.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know about that. Yeah.
Very weird.
This one's very classical.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one was the most like, okay, this is familiar. I could confuse this with an Iron Cake.
Yeah.
But the sweetness on this I think is a little bit brighter. I also think that this tea, a little bit, even there's like a little bit more flowers on this than like like the 04 Iron Cake.
Yeah, I would agree. There's still almost a grassiness, or maybe it just like freshly evolved from that grassiness.
Yeah. Okay, so that was the sort of first taste, and now we're gonna get into these two up here.
So double Hongyan.
Yep, and wow, the difference in the color on those. Pretty remarkable. Look at how much greener that is. That's crazy. Yeah. So 6 years of difference there, but probably a lot of storage having an impact as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, pretty strong.
Yeah, no, it does. It's decent mouthfeel, not getting much throatiness, but I think the impact on the mouth is pretty decent. I think that will be definitely, for me at least, that's one that could use a little more time for sure. Mm-hmm. But I see the structure of a pretty decent tea in there. So we are now on the 09 Hongyan.
Yep.
Did the storage on these feel, I'm guessing that's all the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty clean. Much bassier, woody.
Very different.
Yeah. Much less bright.
Yeah. This is a lot more up, I think, what my alley might be, but we will see.
Definitely. Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Smoother, but also kind of more bitter.
I'm actually enjoying this one quite a bit more than previous sessions.
Yeah, it's not as thick as the other one. Okay.
I think it's quite sweet. I agree with you. It's more smooth, but also a little bit stronger.
It has a little bit of a
lower noted
kind of herbal taste. Definitely in the lower noted, for sure.
You know, it's almost like you can't taste the puer as much on this because the previous tea was so sharp and the green character on it was so strong that this one, in relation to it, is strangely, just given how much, the same age, it's much more woody, much more classical.
I don't think this tastes very much like Shagwan either.
Oh, yeah, agree.
First one, a bit, but...
A bit more.
But not...
This one has less of that pine resin.
Okay.
I would think of as classical Shagwan, personally.
Yeah.
Really nice. So let's do the 03 now and see how that goes.
Okay.
I'm curious. And we probably be best served drinking some water in between these, but you know what? Whatever.
We're GDB, we don't need water. Just give me some ripen between steeps. Maybe with some Jaji tool.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually Look at the core color there, but not.
Yeah, kind of.
Still similar character. So this was the 2009 that everyone's looking at right now.
I could sort of see how they're related.
Wow. A little more bready. The 2009 is a bit more bready to me. Ooh. More incense, kind of a cinnamon.
Yeah, I get some raisins almost on this.
Yeah. Actually a little bit thinner. I wonder if that's just extraction.
Could be. Yeah.
That sweetness that comes.
Much smoother.
Yeah, although they taste similar.
Yeah. I would say these two are both a lot smoother than the Meishuza.
That's nice.
Yeah. Not very shagwani either.
No. Yeah. It reminds me of Love Her Paper Tongue, but a little bit less bright. Uh-oh. Audio down.
Like this?
Like this. Technical difficulties, Stewie. Oh my god. Fuck. Pause. Okay.
We're back.
We're back. Let's go 09 again. Go back between these two.
Yeah.
I think that the artistic font one for me, one of the more interesting teas of the group. I don't think I like it now today slightly more than the Red Mark. I think Red Mark's probably the better tea overall.
Yeah. Why do you like it more? Just because it's more classically coolerish? Or?
Yeah, and I like the brightness on it.
Okay.
You know, I like the fruity, bright, sweet character of it. Okay. The only downside definitely is the green character of it's pretty harsh.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so
I feel like comparing it with these two as well is gonna bring that out even more so too.
Yeah, let's get this. You can really tell the difference in the color that way. A little better here. In terms of the light.
I like the way that the O3 is lingering in my mouth too. It's like a nice expansiveness on the aftertaste.
You know, one thing that's true of these Feitai teas in general is they're just pretty reliably clean compared to like Shagwan, which I think is just a bit more of a crapshoot in terms of how it's gonna go. Maybe it's just the storage,
house taste, what they're selecting for,
processing, the leaves themselves. All right.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, no. I can kind of notice that cinnamon. It's more cinnamon than the incense for me. These taste, I think, kind of similar. It's the green character on this that just bites back later on in there.
I know. I feel like the O3 is making the greenness emphasize.
Yeah.
Because when we went from the Meishuza to this seemed comparatively less green, and all of a sudden it's like, no, I get a lot of grass all of a sudden.
Yeah, this way
like
back.
Someone just shoves some grass in my mouth.
There's some like mate kind of character on this.
Yeah.
Definitely not great today. Yeah. My first impression, I think, was this is like average.
Okay.
Sweetness is good. It's not as much. There's not as much body on this one today either.
I mean, I can tell just from looking at the leaves that the storage of this is pretty dry. And so these could definitely use some time. I'm curious how they would do because it doesn't. I mean, I see the same structure. I do see why these are the same teas. But yeah, the 2003 is just in a much smoother place at this point.
We're just looking honestly at the camera.
Yeah.
The cool thing, it's almost easier to see with a slight increase in saturation.
Yeah.
So the color on these are not quite as vibrant green and red in person as on the shot here, but having it tuned up just like 1% or whatever does help show the differences here. Yeah, they're pretty remarkable. You can really taste that color difference in there. Let's do the 03 again. That was really quite nice.
Yeah.
So for the 03 for you, is this something that you're reaching for, drinking regularly? You have a cake of this?
No, I just recently got a half. I
nice.
split some with someone else. But yeah, it's one I have only had a couple times, so it's not one I know super well. And it's one I was hoping to just kind of play around with, drink it a bit until my half of a cake, under half now at this point, is gone.
I think it's nice. I'm not sure I'm like dying to own this.
Yeah. For me, at least, it's kind of like when I want Shagwan, I kind of want it to taste very Shagwan. And this one is not quite that. Nice as it is. In some ways, it feels a little more refined, a little bit more almost boutique-like than kind of a factory.
So you can still see that there's some yellow in the cup there. All right, here we go. You know, the kind of pine resin character of this is now, I think, a bit more apparent. And that to me feels like fairly Shagwan.
Sure. I get some kind of like wood furniture type shop, kind of like a tangy version of that. A little sourness creeping in for me.
Definitely some sourness. I think, yeah, interesting. More fuller, and the sweetness on this is really quite nice. That's one thing I think it's probably true. The Fat Thai teas is that they have that, or Fei Thai, they have that like sugary sweetness that comes eventually.
Sure.
Yeah, it's nice and interesting. You know, this is definitely a gamble. I think it was like $80 for 5 cakes.
Yeah.
So pretty hard not to just take a gamble on those. And I think in general, I do enjoy the Fei Thai processing. So I think it was a worthwhile gamble for me. I do hope that the red mark does get somewhere a little bit less abrasive. If it ends up in kind of similar territory as the 2003, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not like, oh man, go run and buy this. I think it's fine, just fine is what I would say. It's like good enough.
Sure. So would you say that these Vajras are mostly going to be like, kind of stick them in the Pomodoro, see what happens in a few years?
Definitely experiments. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm kind of hoping that those really weird ones end up someplace nice. Yeah. Because right now they're just like really sugary, fruity, tropical fruit, and then just like deep, funky, peaty pu'er flavor.
Okay. And
like just in a way that I thought was totally gross and disgusting.
Okay. So one of them's really smoky, right? Or sort of smoky.
Oh man, I didn't notice that too much. Okay. Maybe I did.
The peaty one? No.
There was one that was very peaty. It was like peaty plus that high fruit thing.
Okay.
And it's gonna be either not the Jiaji, the Yiji, or the how do you pronounce this?
Georgian.
Would not have guessed that. Thank you. Anyway, yeah, nice, good experiment. These are the kind of episodes that I like to do with homies. This would be something where I'd probably just like at home do 5 of these all at once. And it's kind of a lot.
Yeah.
So nice. How would you rate these overall? Like, if you had to do a MyTDB number rating.
I think the two, well, I mean, we only had one steep of some of these, but I think probably the 2009 to C, and then the 2003 Hongyan. I don't love it either. I think it's probably a B.
Yeah, I think they're probably the same ratings pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see where they end up, right? I mean, that's kind of the point of these ones, is that they're definitely, well, I mean, I guess they could have been ready today, but pretty uncommon to have something this young be ready today. So I don't know if people can buy these.
Yeah. I mean, if you're determined to get them, you can definitely find them, because they're not like hugely expensive.
My guess is that you can probably get like a quarter of a cake off of somebody on Discord, so go check that out.
Probably, yeah.
20 minutes, that's probably long enough.
Yeah. So Denny, if someone wanted to pick up these Vajras, which ones would you say to target and from your experience? So so you like the Meishuza.
I do.
Yeah.
I would buy that one, and I would buy... in order, I think it would be the artistic font for me.
Okay.
Red Mark.
Artistic font is the one we just had.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of the 2009 specifically.
Yeah.
Artistic font, Red Mark, the grade A, and then the Yiji would be grade B, and then the final one, whatever that Georgian would be the fifth one for me personally.
And those last two in particular, you did not do.
They were like 3 and 4 rates. They were bad.
Okay.
Yeah, they were like, so again, clean, but the profile itself, the flavor combo.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like disgusting.
Who knows? Might pass the wartime test if you're stuck in the trenches. I don't know.
I don't know. If you like watermelon and like diesel combo,
okay,
that's like totally your jam. And again, like
that sounds terrible.
Well, here's the thing: that diesel might end up being some like really wonderful dark wood character to it. Way down the line with like a whisper of watermelon at the on the end of it that is lovely. But at least for right now, it is gross.
This is the Georgian you're talking about? Or
Yeah. I believe so. I'll have to look up the records. Click on the button, subscribe. We're filming this on April 1st. Go watch the April 1st video. It's an important message to all you fools.
We're sorry.
Yeah, we're so sorry. Oh. Until next time.
Wu-Tang.
Peace.